Okay, so today we have the AR15 parts kit for the lower receiver. It's actually just a hodgepodge of things that I wanted to add to my AR15. I have the Maritime Bolt Catch by Geisley, the Geisley recoil spring and buffer, a Strike Industries strike switch, the Strike Industries ambidextrous mag release, and the Strike Industries takedown pins. So I'm going to start with the easiest part first. All you'll really need is a punch. I'm going to use a smaller one. And what you do, you push on the buffer, press down on the detent pin, and release the buffer. It come out just like that. Slides out. This is my factory one. This is the replacement. As you can see, the replacement's a little bit longer, and it's braided. Put it back in. You just slide in the spring. Find the flat side or a flat side on your buffer, and then slide that right over the detent, and it's in. Next, I'm going to do the mag release. This one you don't really need a whole lot of tools for. It's pretty simple. You will need something to be able to push this in farther than your finger can. So I'm going to use this punch. It's a 1/4 inch brass punch. Press that in with the punch and then start unscrewing from the opposite side while maintaining pressure with the punch. Let's go this way. You should be able to completely unscrew it. And then let off the spring tension from the other side. Now you just have this hole. If you want to save these parts, use them for something else, you can. So let's open up this mag release. Basically do this in the opposite direction. So take off your little button. This is all aluminum. Put your spring in the little hole. Put your mag release in on this side. And then find your button. This part's a little tricky because you have to fight the spring. Once you got that on there, tighten it down till about there. Get it so that it goes in. You reverse the process from the beginning. Put your punch in and tighten it down from the opposite side. I find that if you put your thumb in the mag well, you get some pretty good tension. Okay, so there's that in. Get the little switch here. So now that we got those parts in, let's move on to the safety selector switch. Comes with a little foam insert. For this, you'll have to remove your grip. So I have a really long flathead. It should be backed all the way off. What you'll need is this little spring. And this detent. My detent doesn't want to come out. There it goes. So this is what I just removed. But that will allow us to push the fire selector out. So you do have to remove your trigger in order to get the selector out. But once that's out, you take your new selector, slide that in, get this out. Mine is a little complicated. I gotta put the pieces together. And as always, you can use Loctite on any screw that you have to torque down. And this one goes in on this side. Once you get your control back in, you put your detent in, pointy end down. Now this is if you just want one side. Put your spring back in your grip. So putting the screw back in is kind of tricky sometimes. I like to slide it down the side. Usually kind of falls in there once you get it stood up. Okay, so we got the grip back on. Selector works. Got to get the trigger back together now. The easy way to get these in is the hammer down position. So you got it halfway in. You just got to line up the other side. So your pin's in. Hammer can go down again. Now the really fun part. We come in from the front side. Get that flat in there. Then rotate it. This is the other hard part. You put your springs on. And then you have to put this bit over both legs and then get it into this little claw here. That's basically just how you put the Hyperfire in. It's really easy. 2 pins. The hard part is fighting the springs. As you can see, it goes back. Fires just fine. Pull it back, put it on safety. Safety works. pretty simple. So besides the fact that you have to take your trigger out for this thing, the fire selector, it's a little bit of a nuisance, but if you don't have something overly complicated, you just have a stock trigger. It's really just pushing a pin and fighting the one spring. Next, we're going to do the bolt catch. This one, you just need to take out this little retaining pin. It's a little roll pin. I got mine started. You'll need a 5/64 punch. And then you just come from the front here. Give it some solid wax because this thing is in there pretty good. You can probably see that it's already starting to come out. There it went. Remove your punch, and it should all just pop right out. There's this little nipple that goes on the spring, the return spring for it. I'm gonna dig my little spring out here because it doesn't want to come out. This is what the spring looks like. There's the standard one. I'm going to be replacing it with this Geisley. It comes with its own roll pin and the switch itself. So this will go in like this. Before you put that back in, you put your spring in. If it helps with small parts, you can use little Allen keys like I do. I think I just set that spring in there with an Allen key. Put your little nip back in. Get your piece. This claw will hang over here. That's what it hangs up on. Just like that. And then you keep it under pressure. Put your roll pin back in. Which with this one, I don't think I'll be able to hammer that in to set it. So I'm going to actually start it from this side. You can actually start your roll pin before you put the part in. And because roll pins are notoriously small, we have this pin starting thing. Just kind of clamps on there. Which some receivers actually have an Allen key pin for this. They aren't all like that. Okay, so as you see, I got it started. Put this nip back in. Okay, then you just push down on the bolt catch. Okay, so that started the capture. You just want to get your roll pin flush. I don't really have the best grip on this right now. Now that's flush in there. Check its function. Looks like it's working just fine. We got the selector switch, the bolt catch, the mag release, the buffer spring, a quick little rundown of how my trigger works. So lastly, we will have the takedown pins, which these can be really tricky, especially if you don't have an AR15 castle nut wrench. I'm going to show you how to do it without it. You'll need a 1/4 inch punch and a 2mm flathead screwdriver. Let's start with the first one. You pull it out like you normally would. And with your 2mm, you can actually, well, put it in halfway. Put it in halfway. And with that, you follow the groove on the side and press down on the retaining pin that's in there. And you can actually turn the pin. This is what I like to do. Don't turn it too far because some of them have these tiny little holes that pin can get shot through. And then you can't get it out. And then pull it almost all the way through. And then you'll have to do like a little quick switch with your 1/4. Oh, it doesn't go all the way through. So I just launched my detent. I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of time trying to find that. Okay, so after a little while, I found this little tiny pin. Actually hit the wall behind my workbench and rolled out behind me. Make sure your punch is long enough to go all the way through. This is why mine didn't work. It freaking shot the thing across the room. Just a little too short. If you don't have a punch, you can also use Allen keys. If you don't have a long enough 1/4 inch punch, you can use a 7/32 Allen key. Okay, so once you get the detents depressed in this little groove here with your 2mm flathead, you'll turn your pins so that the capture slot is free of the detent. Once you get that, you have to do a little magic trick. I push the Allen key in to the pin, so I have opposing forces right now. And you just kind of slowly get it here. Once the retaining pin is about to come out, got to move kind of fast, maintaining the pressure between the two objects. So you got your first one out. And it's the same thing on the way back in. Your detent might push up against the pin. That's okay, mine just did. You just push that down and slide it in. Once you're in, you can turn it, lock it in place. That pin's in. Do the same thing on the other side. I already have this one rotated, so push them together, squeeze them. It helps with the Allen keys because you have that right angle to help you kind of grip it. Now that that one's in, give it a turn, hear it click, it's locked in. And that's your pins. So with the pins in, we also have the fire selector, which we had to take the trigger out for. The maritime bolt catch, the ambi mag release, and the buffer spring and buffer weight. The stock doesn't have to come off for these steps, but if you have trouble with this back retaining pin and the detent spring in there, the detent spring actually comes in behind the castle nut. I don't have a castle nut wrench, so I just showed you how to do it without it. Anyway, this is the final lower build. Basically all the components of the lower. The only thing that I didn't show getting put in was the main body of the trigger, which that's pretty simple. Most of the high-end triggers come with really comprehensive guides, and I kind of showed you how mine works. So that's pretty much a whole lower build. I won't have any new parts in for a couple weeks. A lot of the parts that I've ordered are on back order. When those come in, I'll do a video on those as well, and I'll keep making videos. I have to find a range where I can film the test shooting videos. I do plan to add those in the future. But for now, it's just going to be parts installs and kind of a comprehensive look at some of the guns in my collection that I'm currently updating. Anyway, if you have any questions, you know, comment down below or send me a message. I can try and help you if you have any issues installing your own parts on pretty much any of the guns that I work with. But here's the finished lower. If you guys are on my other social media, you can also message me or comment there. But I do prefer that you comment in the video down below. There she is. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and have a nice day.